You're listening to the Radcast, a top 25 worldwide business podcast. If it's radical, we cover it. Here's your host, Ryan Alford.
What's up, guys? Welcome to 2024. It's the Radcast, our weekly marketing and business news of the week here on January 5th, 2024. My Kimasabe, my good friend, my co-host here on the Radcast, Chris Hansen. What's up, Chris?
What's up, my man? Happy New Year.
I felt like I had to really dial it up there. It's 2024, you know, like it's like New Year's. That was my version of like fireworks.
I mean, it worked. I talked louder than I usually do, so you got me fired up. It's hard to get me to change that volume.
Got to dial up the volume. If it's radical, we cover it. It's 2024. We are in the space-time continuum. When I remember like growing up, like if I'd have said the year 2024, you know, like it just sounds like we're out there somewhere. Advanced spaceships, flying planes. You know, someone
driving self-driving cars. We're getting there.
We're getting there. Slower than we thought. I think somebody was, guessing we'd have flying cars by 2024. I bet that was probably on someone's trend list for technology in like 1995. By 2024, we'll be flying in cars. No, still driving those gasoline guzzling V8s. We're just now getting to electric cars, sort of. That don't make any noise, but we're getting there. I do want a flying car, though. That'd be on my wish list.
Heck yeah, I would.
Not sure.
I think I've seen some prototypes. I just think they're not very affordable.
Not affordable, and I'm not sure how we'll do air traffic control. It gets when there's no
roads. We can barely manage drones, from 13-year-olds, let alone adults flying cars.
Exactly. We appreciate you wherever you are, whenever you are, however you are, for making us number one in marketing and business on Apple Podcasts. We did hit number 8 in all business shows in the world over the holidays, so we thank you for that. There's some pretty big names there, Chris, that we were up and above. Not to call anyone out, but we appreciate that. You know, it is a contest. Don't let anyone fool you.
There is a numerical ranking system.
They do rank them. You go into business under Apple, and when you're on the first page without a scroll, we get excited. So we appreciate you for listening, and we hope you'll continue here in 2024 as we light it up. Speaking of lighting it up, they do have some pretty good marketing headlines this week, specific to lots of, there's trends, there's forecasting, there's predictions, and there's also biggest concerns. This comes to us from Ad Age. I thought this was actually pretty interesting because I think if you're a marketer out there, there's a lot of things kind of happening in the industry that have people like questioning what they should do, who they should hire, things like that. But Ad Age put together marketers' biggest concerns heading into 2024. Number 1, economic uncertainty. Ongoing concerns about the economy, including the effects of wars overseas, high gas prices, inflation, and the return of student loan payments are heavily weighing on marketers. I don't know about that last part. I don't know how many marketers are going really thinking about student loan payments. That sounds a little political, but the rest of it sounds fair. Yeah. So economic uncertainty is number 1. The rise of AI, the rapid growth of innovation of AI in marketing, despite its potential, has left many CMOs feeling uneasy about its implications and brand safety issues. 3, CEO-CMO Disconnect. That's a disconnect between understanding and prioritizing marketing metrics and roles. This is always a balance because CEOs want sales, want numbers, want things immediately. And the CMO is going, hey, man, we got to build brand. We got to build brand over time, and so
we need more marketing pieces.
Yes.
We need more stuff to put out.
Yeah. Exactly. So see, the marketing department is always, trying to stand up for what they're doing, building long-term success for the brand while also building short-term sales. And the CEO is going, marketing's not working hard enough.
It's a battle that I'm very familiar with.
Yes. I want more sales today. We're like, oh, okay. All right. That's always, that should be like, that's the biggest concern in every year. That is not new. 4, work from home and in-office balance. The struggle to find a balance that benefits both employees and employers in the post-pandemic work environment. I do see and hear this a lot, especially at like larger agencies and larger companies. You know, it's what happens when you let people stay at home for 3 years, then you want them to come back. You know, it's like, they don't want to come back. But they have to come back.
Like, dude, I got a Barry's boot camp at 1 p.m. this afternoon. I can't come in the office. Like, that's
exactly right. Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah. I have a peppermint facial at noon, and I have my boot camp at 2. I don't know how that's going to fit in with you wanting me to come back to work.
Or it's, I'm in Tulum for the next month. You didn't tell me I had to be in the office.
Yeah, exactly.
Working remote.
I'm working hard remotely at my mom's day spa down in the Key West.
Really? Yeah.
Wait, are you getting your work done? Yeah. So there's that balance. And I don't think that's unique to marketing, by the way. That's unique to like almost every industry. Organizing talent. Number 5, challenges in structuring the marketing workforce efficiently. Mix of in-house and external talent and rapid adjustments to media performance. You know, this is the hardest part. It's like we have more marketing channels than ever. We have more complexity than ever with marketing, you know, like channels and content and influencers and mediums and all these things. So it's like, okay, do we have it in-house? Do we have out of house? Do we hire an agency? Can one person learn how to do all these things? No. So how many people do you need? So you're having to organize and gather talent. This is, I know this one firsthand running an agency, but much less some of these larger brands where they've got more dollars to spend and they're trying to organize and know exactly how many people are needed to kind of get it all done. So that's on the list. Marketing's biggest concerns heading into 2024. Finally, navigating a fraught geopolitical landscape. Fraught's an interesting word. I kind of like fraught. It's fraught.
Yeah.
Fraught with challenges. Fraught. The increasing complexity of addressing polarized customer bases and the need for brands to be authentic yet cautious when speaking out on core political and cultural issues. I do understand this. Like, it's a challenge. Yeah. It's like you don't want to polarize people.
Dance.
You know, consumers and all these people, you know, you want authenticity from the brand. You want them to speak out on things. But I can also understand the brand's point of view that you can't win. Like, and if you sell a product or a service that you can just lean heavy on one side or the other, then great. You know, go all in, lean into it. But, you know, right. If you're Big Red selling bubble gum, you need Republicans, Democrats, and independents to buy that shit. And so It's like, you don't want to, stick your neck out there too far. And, you know, anyone listening can go, well, you should. If you're going to be authentic, you have to stand where, say where you stand. But, like, it's just not that smart all the time.
Yeah, maybe if you're a firearms manufacturer, but I agree. If I'm selling bubble gum, enjoy the cinnamon gum.
Yeah.
I don't care what you believe in.
I just counsel people to just stay out of it. If, like, I try to think that, like, at least myself, like, even having a show where I want listeners on all sides to listen. I think if you pay attention to everything that I do, you probably know where my foundational beliefs lean. But I don't think I have to be disrespectful to the other side and rub it in people's face. And I think that's the difference.
Right.
You know, so I think we can all agree to disagree or to agree to, stand for what we believe while not disparaging the other side. And I think the problem is we've gotten to this world where everything's black and white. I'm all in, I'm all out. I'm gonna tell you your beliefs suck and they're stupid and they don't make any sense. And my beliefs are good. Yours are bad. And when in reality, a lot of this stuff is in the gray. And if you can at least admit that, then, and that there could be an argument for both sides, no matter how strong you feel. And so
For sure.
I think that's the path forward we have to find and we have to get back to.
We get back to just accepting everyone can have their own beliefs and that's okay. And we can go about our day. And no part of me now wants to try to convince someone else to believe what I believe. That's a losing battle, always.
Yeah.
When has that ever worked?
Not unless it's done the right way. I mean, there's such thing as influence versus over the top, I don't know, just disparagement is the best word I can come with. And I don't know. I think we got to find the path back to standing up for what you believe while not taking down or scorching the earth while you do it.
Right.
I think that's what people are so tired of. And that's what's going to be interesting with politics this year. It's going to be nasty. And it's I don't know. If you, I almost wish we could, I almost wish we could clean the whole slate and start with two new people and all right, and go at it, but we'll see. So these are the biggest concerns heading into 2024, economic uncertainty, AI's rise. And look, the AI thing is going to be interesting because there's so many parts of that. I think on one channel you have, okay, how much can we use AI to complete some forms of the marketing department that we do, like the repetitive tasks? Can we use it to generate content or to write or to blogs and to do
email blasts?
Yeah, all that stuff. So there's that balance of, okay, how much can we trust it to do these things? And then there's the balance of the safety, the brand safety, the copying things, the copyrighted stuff. Is it going to get us in trouble if we let this go on its own? And, you've got deep fakes and all that kind of stuff. So I think it's two-sided there. The disconnect between sales and marketing, that's what I'll just call it that. We're saying CEO, CMO. I'm going to call it the disconnect between sales and marketing. The work from home balance, organizing talent, and navigating a fraught geopolitical. So if you're listening and you're in marketing, you're in sales, you're in business, you're probably shaking your head and wanting to know what the balance of these things are. I'll say this, on the work from home thing, I just think that genie can't go back in the bottle, and you need to hire the good people that you trust to do what the company needs to get done. And it doesn't really matter where that takes place as long as you aren't if you're a fast food company, you got to come in, we got to make the donuts, we got to make the burgers, whatever it might be. But for a lot of white collar work and things you got to hire the right people and trust them to get it done. And, I think there's a balance. I don't think it can be all one or all the other on the work from home versus in office. And you got to find what I called this. I called this in 2001. You got to hire mutants, people that could do a lot of different things. Well, they may have a specialization, but you have to hire people that are hungry to learn. Because everything's changing so much, no one's going to have one job doing one thing. So you have to hire people that are hungry, that want to learn, that want to look. There's YouTube videos. The company can train you to do the core job, but you got to be hungry to learn these other things, to watch a YouTube video, to watch, these types of things. There's training out there to learn other skills. And so you just have to hire people that are motivated, that want to do those things.
Motivated, and I think disciplined even now because with more freedom, I think people need it, especially with this hybrid model. Dude, I see it every day. I'm sure you see it walking around. There's way more people out and about on a given weekday than there ever has been. Now,
oh yeah.
I'm like, what is everyone doing? Is anyone working anymore? But you can still kick ass in your job and go to a Barry boot camp at 1 p.m. You can. I think it just takes motivated and disciplined people still.
Yeah. And that's the only thing that I get concerned about, that the world is kind of is some of the politics and some of the things that have changed have stripped the hunger and desire out of the American way. It's what do we, we all want work-life balance. Yeah, we all want to do that. Of course we do. But notice there's two words there: work-life balance. It's not just life balance. Most of us work to live. And so you still got to work to live. And, I think what we've gotten a little bit into is life balance. Yeah. Well, how can I balance my life as I balance my life with this thing I called work? Just getting in the way of my life. Well, we got to work to live. We have to support ourselves. We have to be hungry for all those things. And so that's the balance that has to be found. And we'll see if we can get back to more of that. And there's a lot of people doing it. So this is not to put a lot of people in a box that don't belong there. But I think you do have to, with great flexibility comes great responsibility. I think that's the bottom line.
Yeah.
And if you want to learn from me directly, join my newsletter, ryanalford.com/newsletter. Sign up. I give daily advice on marketing, personal branding, podcasting, life. Give that a shout. Join that. It's free. It's daily. Just like this show, give away our best advice. Thought this was interesting. Also from adage, adage.com. AI chatbots predict 2024's hottest trends in social media and ad tech. And I thought these were probably scarily, or I don't know, maybe this is good use of AI here. Probably spot on. So first, Gen Z marketing apps. Finch, a self-care app where users nurture a virtual Finch, tracking mood, habits, and goals in a gamified way. Hey Vina, an app designed for women to make platonic friendships based on shared interests and values. Friender, a gamified friend-making app that matches people based on shared vibe and humor. And Clubhouse Rooms 2.0, a potential revamped versions of Clubhouse with added features like video and spatial audio. What says you about any of these Gen Z marketing apps?
I've never heard of any of them. However, I like the sound of all of them. I think people are lonely, honestly. And
that's kind of what I was thinking when I was listening.
Yeah. Right. It's like basically like how to, the first one, like self-care, like support that, take care of yourself better. And then how to make platonic friends or just friends in general. I mean, which with things like Tinder that have been around for literally like a decade, you almost wonder why things like this haven't taken off more.
Yep.
Like, and actually people have used some of the dating apps. You can turn it on like friend mode and have made like platonic, female friends or whatever that way. But I think it's a good thing, but I think it tells us that we're all very isolated in real life.
Yeah. I spoke about this in, my, not trends, but marketing ways that people can get ahead in 24. And I think there's going to be, the people that get ahead are going to be this return to in real life experiences. Like, I just think that it's kind of playing into this thing, people are lonely, but I think with the pandemic, hopefully behind us and like everything with that, like, and we've been way beyond it. I mean, we're 3 years past, but it's like, I think people like really ready to embrace like getting back to in real life experiences, and whether that's branding and marketing experiences or things like this that are more on the social sphere. I think that's, I think apps that can maybe bring the online and offline experiences together in some way will be big. Yep. On number 2 on the predictions for 2024's hottest trends, social media trends. So niche neighborhood apps. I've been calling for this for a little while. I will say this. Apps like hyperlocal platforms like Hood and Nextdoor will become more popular, fostering community and local business awareness. I think there's always been a place for like Nextdoor to take off a little bit more. I do think it is more hyper local, niche,
I agree,
focused. And I think maybe if they could lean into the online offline thing, like it's, I think it's got
pop-up partnership collabs with local restaurants or something.
Exactly. And I do think, like stuff that's zip code based or, like more where it's feasible to like really get to know someone and to have like common shared interests because of location specific things. Like when you're in the same zip code, there's just stuff that comes with that. Like you're in the same neighborhood, you get the same restaurants. You can actually meet up. You can actually like, there's just stuff that you experience when you're in a certain zip code or certain environment that is shared interest. Right. And I think
that's part of the reason I love being in Miami or a major city for that matter is those niche groups are larger communities. And, a random example, but like, say I want to go to, because this is coming up this weekend, my buddy that does the microdose coaching, having a little get together. If I was in Greenville, it probably wouldn't be that many people.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
If I go to Miami Beach, might be 200-300 people. And I can tell you, it feels better when you see, I'm not alone in this. There's a big community around this, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. I think I've heard about Nextdoor a long time. I've been approached to advertise on Nextdoor. I know it's been around a long time, but I do agree with you. I don't think it's ever gotten the use that it's probably capable of.
Yeah. I could see
maybe that was a timing thing.
Yeah, I think it's a timing thing. And I think it's just got to move past like the busy bees that are complaining about traffic in the neighborhood. Like I've been on a few of,
do you think
of them, and like, no matter where I live, that's the people that are active on there are just complaining about like stupid local shit.
Oh yeah. I've seen that. Well, that's like, Yelp. You see, there's never a shortage of negative reviews, right? Me, myself included. I'm never like, oh, I had a awesome dinner. Let me get in the car and write this Yelp review before we get out of here, which I should be better at. But I wanted to ask you, do you think people were so reliant on kind of Facebook? Because I see Facebook has a lot of community groups or niche groups. Do you think that is kind of filled part of that for many years?
Here's what I think. I think it has, but I think why AI is predicting this and why it's probably right, or it has the potential, is Facebook's gotten so crowded with everything that it's hard to. Here's my problem with Facebook. If I'm going there for like local news, interests, updates, those kind of things, I can't get to that without getting my brain wiped with marketplace, with politics, I have to hit 4 buttons or 3 things to get to that content.
Yeah.
And look, I mean, it's great and bad because sometimes I do go to marketplaces. Sometimes I use it for those things. So I think those things are great. But I think the problem though is it's just so inundated with all that shit that I can't just get to like local without like, fuck, my dad's posting about Trump again. Like,
yeah. You're getting a lot of distractch on the way to
that
you're getting hit with
information. Yeah. It's like,
your friend from high school is complaining about,
something from high school.
South Carolina losing.
Yeah, exactly. Like, Clemson didn't get the best recruit. I'm like, and that's interesting to me when I'm ready to get into that content. But it's kind of like, I guess it's almost like the example of distraction by ads. Like, I'm just trying to watch this, like, and like, as a marketer, like, we need those ads, but like, it's the same thing. I'm trying to get to one thing and I kind of got to go over and around and through to get to it. And so I think an app that's where these niche apps come in, or you can get straight to that local piece. So, next thing, interest-based micro communities. Platforms like Discord and Amino will continue to shine for hosting vibrant communities around niche interests. How do you think these communities are becoming more mainstream?
Yeah.
I mean, Discord, 5-6 years ago was kind of like, I don't know, some kind of like underground.
I'm on it now. Yeah. All the crypto stuff is on that.
Yeah.
Like that's why I got introduced to it. And I don't even quite really understand how it works. To me, I don't know, I need to sit down and spend the time with it. Right. But I'm realizing I need to be cognizant in how to use it if I want to be up to date on what's trending in the crypto space.
Yeah. I mean, it's back to what are those niche interests that you have and finding community around that. The problem I have is, like you just said, like, it seems like these things trend towards black market shit a lot of times, not that crypto's black market, but you know what I'm saying?
No, for sure.
And it's like, and like that's Telegram. Fine.
Like,
I mean, like I got to get my, my, whatever it is. I can't even, I'm trying to tell a joke and I have no black market interests right now. So I'm like, I can't even make it up. But should I have a black market interest? I would certainly be on Discord to find it, or Telegram, or whatever else these things are. But I think you will see these things. They've already become more mainstream. And I think it started with the NFT thing and all of that with crypto and all the digital currency stuff. But I think you'll start to see it more and more as people get comfortable with the platform. And maybe we kind of get out of some of this black gray market type stuff. But we'll see. Third on the social media trends, skill sharing and collaboration. Apps like SkillSwap and Wizdo. I hadn't heard of Wizdo. I like the name though. Will promote local skill sharing and collaboration, fostering a sense of community and interdependence. This is back to what I was saying. Like, knowledge is cheap, man. If you want to learn something, it's out there. You just got to want to get after it and learn whatever that might be. Yeah. And I think, I do think you're already seeing this with coaching. I mean, I think the first realm of this was just the litany of online coaches that help with this stuff. But then now you've got apps filling in the gaps of specific things like this, like where you can probably even trade with one another. Like if you have a skill that you want to learn and you have a skill, share, give a skill, get a skill. There you go. There's probably a name in there somewhere. Skill Ricks.
The wheels are turning.
Yeah, the wheels are turning. But those are your social media trends, niche neighborhood apps, interest-based micro communities, skill sharing and collaboration. Also on the chatbots predictions for 2024 for social media and ad tech, 2024 Olympic niche sports. So we do have the Olympics here. Are you an Olympics person? You watch the Olympics?
Yeah, of course. It's cool to watch. I'm not like glued to my TV, but I enjoy it.
Yeah. Extreme slalom canoe kayak, a new, more intense version of whitewater paddling with potential for high engagement. That sounds interesting. Extreme kayaking. Yeah. Like, what are they doing? Like doing 18 barrel rolls in a row? Like, how long can they stay in the water? Let's see what that is. Break dancing. Its Olympic debut will likely attract attention with its artistic expression and technical skill. I mean, breakdancing.
Hey, I'll watch that.
You're a pretty good breakdancer, aren't you?
I actually did breakdance as a kid, but I have not done it in a long, long time. But I do have some friends that were professional. I mean, they traveled the world doing it, and so I'm happy for them.
Yeah, my kids are into breakdancing. They break shit all over our house all the time. They're naturals at it. I don't know if it's a dance. I don't know what it is, but it's like a crash. We got 4 boys in the house. It's like constant break something. But we'll see. I'm kind of interested. I can't say you see some of it sometimes like on America's Got Talent or some of these other shows, like someone will come out, but it'll be interesting to see the how obvious it is if someone's like grade A versus the gold, silver, bronze of breakdancing.
Remember the Jabberwockies, that dance group? It was on that show MTV.
Yeah.
They all wore white masks.
Yes. I do remember that.
I'm interested.
We'll see.
Yeah, which country's got the best dancers? We're going to find out.
Yes. So those are some of your AI predictions for 2024. I want to move on. I thought this was really interesting. It's come to us from Marketing Dive, marketingdive.com. Instagram Reels is outperforming TikTok and Facebook for branded video content. Report says, a report by customer engagement company Amplify reveals that branded video content on Instagram Reels surpasses performance on other platforms like TikTok and Facebook. The research, based on analysis of numerous brand-known social media accounts, indicates that longer Reels, exceeding 90 seconds, receive twice the median number of video views compared to TikTok. Additionally, Instagram Reels outshine the platform's Stories feature, offering 6 times the reach. However, in 2023, advertisers posted 5 times more stories than Reels. Interesting.
Question.
Yep.
I thought Reels could only be 90 seconds.
No, I think they've extended that now. I thought they did.
I find this, I know if you post a video, you can be longer, but
I think if you posted it, you could post a video and it becomes a reel then. I think that's like the workaround.
Okay.
Like if you, they need to fix that shit. They almost need to get rid of like post unless it's just an image. They shouldn't even like let you post a video. Like it just should be a reel, unlimited length or 10 minutes.
The video. Yeah.
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 That's confusing because I think I've gone through that myself because you can post a video longer. But I will say this does not surprise me. And it actually tells me something because I'm guilty of this sometimes. I'll just go, well, we can just post the stories. If we haven't done reels, like, you know, for like some of our own content, because it's just easier to throw a story up than a reel because you didn't have to put captions and all that stuff. But it gets 6 times the reach. So,
believe me, I'm sitting here thinking about vacay of like always wanting to put stories, and I'm sitting here thinking, well, shit.
You just don't ever know what is going to get, you know, viral is kind of not the word that I should use because viral is not really what I intend, but you don't know what's going to maybe pop off a little more. I'm not saying you're going to get 1 million views, but instead of getting 200 views, you might get 3,000. And you don't ever know what video might do that if it hits the right audience and it starts to kind of get, you know, into the algorithm. And so,
well, and my question, you don't use TikTok, right? And are you watching reels or little shorts on Facebook ever?
We do post to TikTok for my personal brand, and I don't get on it a ton.
I mean, right. I'll watch Instagram reels every day.
Yes.
Rarely am I on Facebook or TikTok.
Oh, totally.
YouTube shorts.
This would validate my own usage for sure. I do think that what they're saying here is branded video content. So they're not saying person, like personal brand, like, you know, Jimmy Smith, whatever, on TikTok.
Right.
And they're saying like company brands and
business. Yeah.
The business brands content gets seen more. And that would align with my thoughts as well. So,
yeah.
In other words, if you're a business, you need to be posting to reels frequently. Period. End story. Doesn't mean you shouldn't post the other ones, but you're going to get more engagement. You're going to get more reach. And I think some of this is based on, you know, like our own, like focus group of 2 here, like saying our what we watch. But I also think it's Instagram knowing they have to compete with TikTok and all these other things. They're prioritizing and potentially giving the branded content, you know, pushing it out to more people. And look, whatever the reason, then you should leverage it. That's the point of this.
Right.
So if you're listening, that's the point of this, us talking about this article. Post more reels. Brought to you today by Instagram. Official sponsor.
That's a pretty damn good tip. 6 times the reach is that's a big multiplier.
Yeah, it's a big deal. If you're a small, medium business and like you only have so much time, what does that tell you? Focus on reels. There you go for your business account. That is the insight. Mickey Mouse Copyright expiration inspires horror movies, video games, and memes. Who knew?
Oh, wow.
This comes to us from NBC News. You may have heard of them. NBCnews.com. The expiration of Mickey Mouse's copyright after 95 years has led to the creation of horror movies, video games, and memes by non-Disney creators. Early versions of Mickey Mouse are now part of the public domain, allowing independent creators to use them for profit. Within days, horror movies titled Mickey Mouse's Trap and an untitled Steamboat Willie horror movie have been announced, along with video games like Infestation Origins, memes depicting Mickey in absurd and inappropriate scenes, including nautical accidents and terrorist attacks. Great. Have also emerged online. The quick response to Mickey's updated copyright status exemplifies how iconic intellectual properties can be remixed and recycled in the digital age for artistic and commercial purposes. They tried to extend it, but it's what happens when you're out there that long. I'll say this. I get on both sides of this coin, but it strikes me that, like, if there's something that should be extended, it should be freaking Mickey Mouse. You know, like, I don't know that should ever expire.
I just find it hard to believe their lawyers didn't like have this taken care of.
Well, I don't think they had an option. It says there's tension between Disney's lobbying for extended copyright periods and the use of public domain works in its creations is evident in the online memes. So clearly they have been battling this.
Yeah.
But it's still expired without something. I don't know. I think, should it expire?
I think it's going to, I don't know, but I think it's going to do a lot of damage to their image, honestly. With all this weirdo stuff coming out.
Exactly. Like, and obviously I think most educated people will know and distinguish between it. But,
sure.
But at the same time, it still has a halo or impact.
It's not a good picture to have. Yeah.
And that's where, I don't know, if you have all this evidence and you're using it and you have characters and movies and all this stuff, I just don't know if I think there should be extensions of copyright. Yeah, I know 95 years. I understand in theory why they put that limitation in. But I think this would be a case for where, I don't know. I'd like to think that if you had this much money invested in it, you'd be able to find a legal way with which to extend it.
Totally agree with that.
And the fact that we don't just seems, I don't know, very short-sighted. I did want to mention, if you're listening to the show, we have a lot of podcast people that listen. If you go to ryanalford.com/Radcast Media Network, or just go to my website, ryanalford.com, click on the menu, you'll see Radcast Media Network. We are launching a multi-show media network this year. A lot of shared opportunities, production services, and a lot of different things that if you're starting a podcast, if you're a company thinking about it, everything from strategy. And I'll say this, there's a million podcast production companies out there. This isn't and we do offer that as part of our services, but it's really more about strategy, branding, monetization, guests, all of those things, which we've mastered here with the #1 show on Apple. And we're bringing a lot of different genres. So if you've got a podcast, or you're thinking about a podcast, or you're a business thinking about starting one, encourage you to go to that site, go to ryanalford.com and click on Radcast Media Network to learn about how we can help you springboard your podcast. Look, this isn't about creating a hobby. This is about building a business. We're going to help you do that with your show. So give that a shout out. And of course, you see my hat. We're always brought to you by Vacay. TakeAVacay.com. Premium plant-based wellness straight to your house. Chris is in the Vacay Lounge in Miami, our official lounge, as always. And you can go straight there. And let me tell you, premium, third-party tested. Everything we do is first class. We hope you'll give that a shot. Take a Vacay, Vaycay, the only way to vacay.com. I think that's all we got. First episode of the year, my friend.
Strong. A lot of good info in there.
A lot of good info. Very marketing focused. We are a marketing and business show talking about some of the threats, challenges, thoughts, trends, things coming in this year. Any final words, Chris?
I wish everybody a phenomenal 2024.
There you go.
Nothing but positivity and abundance.
Abundance is key. We appreciate everyone, wherever you are, whenever you are, however you are, for making us number one. You can find us at theradcast.com. Search for any topic. You'll find highlight clips from all of those from every year. We have over 400 episodes. You can find anything you want. I'm at Ryan Alford on all the social media platforms. For Chris Hansen in Miami, we'll see you next time on the Radcast.
To listen or watch full episodes, visit us on the web at theradcast.com or follow us on social media at our Instagram account, the.rad.cast, or at Ryan Alford. Stay radical.